The atmosphere on Jimmy Kimmel Live took an unexpected turn when Mark Wahlberg, who had been invited to promote his latest project, clashed heatedly with Kimmel in a way that left the studio audience gasping. At first, the conversation was light, with jokes about Wahlberg's early music career and his transition into Hollywood blockbusters, but things quickly spiraled when Kimmel pressed him about controversial remarks Wahlberg had made in a past interview. Wahlberg, visibly irritated, tried to brush off the question, but Kimmel doubled down with his trademark sarcasm, and the exchange turned sharp. Wahlberg accused Kimmel of trying to bait him for ratings, while Kimmel shot back that Wahlberg wasn't used to being challenged. The crowd, unsure whether to laugh or recoil, reacted with nervous murmurs as Wahlberg's frustration boiled over. Finally, after a tense back and forth, Wahlberg stood up abruptly, tore off his microphone, and stormed off stage, leaving Kimmel momentarily speechless. The live audience buzzed with shock. Clips immediately flooded social media, and within minutes, hashtags like #WahlbergStormsOff and #KimmelClash were trending worldwide. What was supposed to be a routine promotional appearance had turned into one of the most talked about late-night moments in years. After the explosive walk-off, the fallout reached far beyond the studio walls as social media erupted with divided opinions about who was really to blame for the confrontation. Some fans rallied behind Mark Wahlberg, praising him for standing up for himself and refusing to play into what they saw as Kimmel's attempts at humiliation, while others criticized him for being too thin-skinned and unprofessional, arguing that celebrities should expect tough questions in the spotlight. Kimmel's supporters defended his style as being no different from the sharp humor he has always been known for, but critics accused him of deliberately provoking Wahlberg to generate viral controversy. Within hours, major outlets like Variety, Deadline, and Entertainment Tonight were running headlines about the fiery clash, replaying clips of Wahlberg storming off the stage from every possible angle. Wahlberg later broke his silence in an Instagram post, where he explained that he was tired of comedians trying to drag real conversations into cheap jokes, insisting that he would no longer tolerate being mocked on national television. Kimmel, for his part, addressed the controversy in his opening monologue the following night, smirking that he didn't expect leg day to include carrying the show alone, after Wahlberg left. The audience laughed, but the tension was clear, and industry insiders speculated about whether the two would reconcile or if Wahlberg would permanently blacklist late-night interviews. The clash not only spotlighted the growing unease between Hollywood celebrities and talk show hosts but also left a lingering question: where is the line between comedy and disrespect, and who truly crossed it that night? As the dust settled from the fiery clash between Mark Wahlberg and Jimmy Kimmel, the incident began to take on a life of its own, turning from a single explosive moment into an ongoing debate that dominated headlines and online conversations for days. Behind the scenes, sources close to Wahlberg claimed he had been hesitant to even appear on Jimmy Kimmel Live. In the first place, wary of Kimmel's reputation for digging into sore spots with biting sarcasm, but was persuaded by his team that it would be a good promotional opportunity for his upcoming projects. The tension reportedly started even before cameras rolled, with Wahlberg arriving at the studio noticeably on edge and skipping the usual pre-show banter with producers. Once the taping began, the discomfort was palpable as Kimmel leaned heavily into jokes about Wahlberg's past controversies and personal life, which some insiders now say was part of a pre-planned attempt to push the actor into giving raw, unscripted reactions. What Kimmel didn't anticipate, however, was Wahlberg's explosive refusal to play along. When Wahlberg stormed off set, he didn't just walk out quietly but reportedly left producers scrambling to fill the segment while audience members were caught between gasps and nervous laughter. In the aftermath, Other celebrities chimed in, with some like Dwayne Johnson expressing support for Wahlberg's right to draw boundaries, while others, including certain comedians, argued that walking off showed a lack of resilience in the face of harmless humor. The network itself found itself caught in the middle, balancing its loyalty to one of its most bankable late-night hosts with the backlash from a high-profile guest who claimed he had been disrespected. For Wahlberg, the moment may have cemented his image as someone unwilling to compromise his dignity for the sake of entertainment, while for Kimmel, it once again raised the question of whether his sharp-edged comedy crosses the line into antagonism. Regardless of which side one falls on, the incident underscored a growing cultural divide. Audiences today are split on whether late-night television should remain a place for hard-hitting comedy at the expense of its guests or evolve into something more respectful in an era when tensions are running higher than ever.